Yo, back with my first Gears of War Reloaded gameplay. This is the beta test for the multiplayer. Coalition actually opened up the servers a day earlier to, I guess, play test or whatever. Took me a while to actually get into a game. I've been searching and disconnecting for about 45 minutes before I actually loaded up into a lobby that was going to start. And pretty much my first thought is this is definitely Gears of War 1, or should I say Ultimate Edition. Plays exactly like it. This is pretty much a remaster of the remaster, which I guess is okay because that game came out, what, 10 years ago, so I'm not really mad at it. But I would say one of my first complaints is why do they keep remastering this specific game? I thought Gears of War 2 was definitely in need of a remaster instead of this one. I say that because Ultimate Edition played it just fine. It's a little hard to get into a lobby because at this point that game is dead, so I guess it kind of makes sense if you want to revitalize that, especially if we're going to bring it to PlayStation. Can't be too mad at it though because Gears of War 1 is a classic after all, and it's pretty much a good placeholder until we get Gears of War E-Day next year, which they announced. I say that to say, not mad at it, but it would have been nice if Gears 2 would have got that remaster treatment because even to this day, what, 17, 18 years later, this game is still in a broken state. I mean, we talking about a game that had title update after title update after title update. And yet, to this day, depending on the time of day that you play, you can actually still find a bunch of lobbies in Gears of War 2. Guardian is still very active amongst the community, so the interest is definitely still there for that game. But that's enough of my little rant about Gears 2. Now on to the topic of the video, my first impressions of the game. Gameplay wise, still really good. The movement, I really like it. Although I gotta get used to the Gears of War style again where I get stuck on a wall from time to time, it still felt fluid for the most part and pretty much the same experience from Ultimate Edition. Next thing I like was the online experience. Now I do get it that this was a small server test, so not many people were on the servers at this time, but still felt really fluid. Once the game actually finally started working after the 45 minutes that I was looking for a lobby, felt really good. No lag spikes at all, just a really good experience overall. Next, one of the most important things that's going to keep me coming back to Gears Reloaded once it launches and through the beta is definitely the maps. And that's something you can definitely say Gears 1 has over all of the sequels, is all of the starter maps are just classic after classic after classic. Now I know we're only going to get a few maps in the beta, but if we're talking about maps, we're talking about Gridlock, Canals, Mansion, Raven Down, Fuel Depot, etc, etc. And that replayability is definitely going to be good for the community, especially when we're considering a lot of people are going to be playing on these maps for the first time because all they've ever had was a PlayStation. So in a nutshell, Coalition didn't mess the game up. I had fun. I will be playing it throughout the weekend, this weekend, and next weekend. And obviously when the game officially launches in August, because for one, it's fun, and two, it's free. So you can't complain about that. I guess my only real concern, specifically for the OG Gears of War players, is how the Coalition is going to keep the OG fan base engaged until we get Gears of War E-Day next year. Obviously, they made steps to welcome in more casual players with respawn modes like Team Deathmatch, so it's a constant rush of action. But I did grow up on playing Execution specifically, so it always holds a place in my heart. And I know it'll never be the most popular game mode again, but maybe they should consider something like adding another game mode to Reloaded with execution elements like Guardian or Dodgeball, just to at least switch things up just a little bit. Because at the end of the day, the game is still really fun, but it is still Ultimate Edition. It is more of the same, and you know, we just want to make sure that it has staying power and it'll hold us over until the next game comes out. So yeah, hype levels are still there for E-Day. I am going to be playing this game like I said before. The only thing that would actually kill that game is to do something really off the wall that'll just be so far from what Gears of War is. Like bro, imagine if they do some nonsense like they introduce like a Gears of War Battle Royale. And I'm not gonna lie, that would actually make me upset, because I do think Coalition has a lot riding on Gears of War E-Day, especially when they're trying to go back to their darker roots. So hopefully that's the tone that they're actually going for. So if they do that, Coalition definitely has a hit on their hands. So as far as my first impressions, like I mentioned before, definitely a fun game. I will be playing when the beta goes live later on today. I do have some gameplays that I recorded during this session that I probably will drop, but we'll see. I'm definitely still rusty because I haven't played the game in a while, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to get reacclimated to the game. Especially when it comes to the aiming. The Gnasher still feels pretty good, but you know, obviously you are going to get that Gears of War bullshit where you feel like you should have killed somebody and you actually die yourself. So, but that's it for me. Let me know if you got a chance to play the server test and what are your thoughts on the Gears of War Reloaded beta up to this point. But definitely like, comment, and subscribe. I haven't been on YouTube in years, so I'm definitely going to try to get back at it. I think I'm just going to let the last minute of the video just rock out because that's pretty much all I got to say. Like I said, first impressions, really good. I'll be back soon. Peace.
The time of the human has long since passed. Our reign is upon this world.